Well, good morning, everyone. We're here to thank you for your many years of support and breast cancer research. We could not have chosen a better partner. Vera Bradley Foundation has had to improvise this year due to the pandemic, as the entire world is. But I think you'll be happy with the result. Well, at this time, I would like to introduce Nina.
Hello, everyone. As a 7-year breast cancer survivor and an advocate for the Vera Bradley Foundation, I'm truly honored to be here today. We are so excited to have with us on this call from Indiana University School of Medicine, Dr. Lair, Director of IU Melvin and Bren Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center, Dr. Schneider, Vera Bradley, Chair of Oncology, and Dr. Liu, PhD for the Vera Bradley Foundation Chair in Breast Cancer Innovation. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
The Vera Bradley Foundation started when Barb and Pat lost a dear friend, Mary Sloan, to breast cancer and committed 27 years ago to make a difference by raising funds for breast cancer research. Because of their tenacity to succeed, the Vera Bradley Foundation has donated $34.6 million to the Vera Bradley Foundation Center for Breast Cancer Research at Indiana University School of Medicine. My family has been impacted by breast cancer since 2001, when my mom was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. She had a recurrence in 2003, but I am so blessed that she is doing well and staying active and living her best retirement life. It was still a shock when I found out that I had breast cancer at the age of 37. And I also want to share that I personally lost 2 very close friends to breast cancer, Sandy and Emily. It is because of them that I fight every day for every dollar. All they wanted was more days and more options. And I truly believe that research is the answer. 2020 has been a year like no other, just like Pat said, definitely impacting nonprofit organizations. 2020 fundraising efforts changed due to the cancellation of in-person fundraising events that we know and love, like Tickled Pink and the Classic. We took this opportunity to step back and be more creative in alternative fundraising efforts. Be sure to visit the Foundation's website to see some of the ways we've been able to still continue fundraising. If there's someone in your life that you'd like to wrap in a warm, hopeful hug right now, I think we have something you'd love. Please check out verabradley.org to learn more. Our enthusiasm for fundraising daily for breast cancer research is inspired by those impacted by breast cancer. We are encouraged at the amazing group of researchers at Vera Bradley Foundation Center for Breast Cancer Research, making a difference. This brilliant, diverse group of researchers and clinicians are looking at all aspects of breast cancer, from prevention to early detection, from treatments and quality of life after treatment. Dr. Brian Schneider, can you please share with us how the funds are having an impact in your research lab?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having us on. And that story was beautiful. So Pat, Barb, and Linda, thank you guys for all you do. And, on behalf of the research team here for breast cancer at the IU School of Medicine and the Melvin and Bren Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center, we are extremely grateful for all you've done to help support and allow research to move forward. As mentioned, we are able to make progress by having support, and much of the federal funding oscillates with things out of all of our control. So things like the economy and pandemics. But Vera Bradley and the Vera Bradley Foundation have been a light that is there always on for us, whether it's day or night. And so for that, it allows us to do good work and to continue to work for our patients. So whether it's everyone who contributes and buys something at the retail stores where the pennies are rounded up to the dollar, or the major gifts that you guys have given us, we're extremely grateful. But I did want to share a little bit about some of the cool research that we've done here that has really been made possible by what you guys have done for us. So we have, as you know, focused very heavily on an aggressive form of breast cancer called triple negative breast cancer. And this is a form of breast cancer that impacts young women preferentially, Black women, but can impact all women. And it is one that is aggressive, and it is one that to date we don't have good targeted or personalized therapies for. So right now we rely on good old-fashioned chemotherapy. What we've learned is that about a third of our patients respond really well to good old-fashioned chemotherapy, and their cure rates are good, about 90%. But what we found is for the other 2/3 of the population who don't respond well to chemotherapy, their cure rates plummet from 90% to 50%. And we have really taken it on our own to focus on this group of patients who don't respond well to chemotherapy. And in fact, your dollars have made possible what I think to be one of the most cutting edge clinical trials across North America, where we have focused on this population with the idea of really trying to find good personalized medicine to show that this can be better than the same old chemotherapy one after another. Some really neat research that my colleague Milan Radovich presented at our International Symposia for Breast Cancer last December was declared one of the 13 big breakthroughs of the year. And what he did is from that clinical trial, took a tube of blood from all the patients. About half of them had the blueprint or DNA from the tumor leaked into their bloodstream, and about a half didn't. And what was fascinating is for those patients who did not have the circulating tumor DNA, their cure rates were extraordinarily good, which was surprising for this population who didn't respond to chemotherapy. And unfortunately, the group that did have the circulating tumor DNA had an extraordinarily high risk of relapse. So for those patients who didn't have circulating tumor DNA, with future studies, we can now tell those patients, we can rest your mind a bit. The likelihood of being cured is very high. And we can start to focus on things like survivorship, decreasing the amount of chemotherapy, and improving quality of life. And conversely, for that population who has the circulating tumor DNA where the risk of relapse is high, we can now really focus our strategies to try to intersect with those patients' destiny in a way through using cutting edge technology, improving their chance of cure. And we've already embarked on the next set of clinical trials, one that we're very proud of called the Persevere trial, which will capitalize on this amazing technology to try to make things better for both groups of patients moving forward. But indeed, at the end of the day, this all really is impactful for our patients. And so I'd like to share a quick story of a patient that has impacted me substantially. Now, importantly, this is a breast cancer patient, but she's not my patient. She was my friend. Her name's Jana, and Jana was a college friend with me. She knew me well from student government, but she was an amazing cross-country runner and also wickedly smart. So Jana reconnected with me on Facebook about 7 or 8 years ago and said, hey, I've been following the work you guys are doing, and I wanted to share with you that I've been impacted. I've been diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, and unfortunately, the chemotherapy didn't work all that well. So it gave me the opportunity to walk in the journey forward with her on that. Unfortunately, Jana subsequently relapsed and died of her disease. But she left two really poignant stories with me that I carry to this day. One is, she said, probably the hardest part was the uncertainty. She said her doctor told her after chemotherapy and surgery, the chance of this coming back is a flip of a coin. And she said waking up each day with uncertainty was really hard. So we're hopeful that tests like the one Dr. Radovich showed will someday take away that uncertainty to really help patients who don't have evidence of circulating tumor DNA feel better moving forward. The second thing she told me is her doctor said if this comes back, it's a lethal recurrence. So she felt stripped of hope. And so our hope is that things like the Persevere trial, which will again take advantage of the best cutting edge technology and the most amazing drugs on the planet today, that will not only improve cure rates, but that for many of these patients will bring a sense of hope. So again, that's the thing your dollars are doing to help us. And again, we are extremely grateful and happy to be here today.
What a beautiful story. Thank you so much, Brian, for sharing that. It obviously touches my heart very deeply. So now The moment you've all been waiting for, such good news. We are so excited to share what our 2020 fundraising efforts have proven. Drum roll. $1.4 million in donations. Woo! That is definitely a woohoo. So now this brings our total donations to date to $36 million. That's amazing. And I think Dr. Schneider, Lair, and Lou have something to show us.
Great.
Amazing news. That's so awesome. Well, we want to thank you so much for all of your love, your support, and most of all, hope. Please continue to follow the foundation on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and our very own website for news on how you can continue to support the breast cancer research. Thank you for joining us today and for your ongoing support. As a breast cancer survivor, it truly means everything. More trials, more options, more hope. Please check out verabradley.org for more. Thank you.
Thank you all. That was terrific.